So what we do is we take hair from the back and then you transplant it to the front.
To wherever it is it's
and
missing.
the thing is, the hair at the back, and you can notice it from everyone else who has lost hair, is it doesn't have the genetic receptor for genetic hair loss. So even if someone loses
It's balding here on the
Yes.
sides. They don't lose it at the back.
Yes. And even if
Come
they
on.
lose it,
Now that I did not know.
yes. So even if they lose it at the side, it doesn't go past a certain point. So that is the hair we use.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. You really must subscribe, not for me, but because when you miss an amazing woman conversation, I feel bad for you and your friends. So you really must subscribe, so at least you can share the video with them. The amazing woman joining me today, I ran into her, she ran into me. We were at the Super Cosmetics on Kimathi Street. I was trying to get you to match yourself to your perfect I Am lipstick. And her girlfriend, the farmer, was already in the store, and they were doing that story. Was Sikoni Kowapi? I told her, by the way, your friend even hasn't left the office. It's that story of Nipokora Undina Kam. Who are you? When people ask you who you are, what do you say you do?
I am Martha Kairuki. I am a trichologist and a registered nurse in Kenya.
Do you remember what happened when you told me? I was like, no, all of you are a trichologist.
Yes. And I think your reaction made me think about myself, because you see, you always think of yourself like this little person.
You're little. Oh, by the way, little as she is, she's 30 years old with 2 children. I don't know where she carried them.
Yes.
Yes.
And so now, after that meeting, when we were going with Anne, I thought to myself, wow, I call myself Cash. So wow, I mean, you're as big as big. So
yes,
then you challenged me to see myself in another light. And so, yeah, thank you.
So why, let's talk about what it is you do. I'm sure somebody said, actually, she said she's a what? She's a trichologist.
Yes.
Now, why do I understand what you did? A couple of years ago, Wayne Rooney had hair implants done.
Yes.
And I remember reading the story because I don't care for football.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested in the other shenanigans around the lives of athletes.
Yeah.
And I realized the science that helps you have hair implants is trichology.
Yes. So trichology is basically the study of hair and scalp diseases.
That's it.
Yes. And then with that, because you see, diseases is a problem.
Yes.
You have to have a solution to the problems.
Yes.
And then there came the science of doing hair transplants, which really originated from the Japanese. And so went to the UK and eventually spread to the rest of the world.
It started there.
Yes. Funny enough, the ladies did hair transplants back then. So now I think men and them trying to find solutions, they thought, wow, if they can do this to transplant hairs in other unorthodox places, then why can't we try and take it to the scalp? And
that's where it, so this is the study of hair and scalp.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Yes, hair and scalp diseases.
So here's the thing. So as I was reading the Wayne Rooney story, of course, I came up with other stories, but it was Bruce Willis did it, and I was like, why is this science so around men? And you're telling me men actually have an issue with hair loss. I just thought once guys start losing hair, they Jordan and they go.
And you know, in Kenya back then, you used to hear Mzee ana kipara, that man has money. But then I think it was back then when people never used to really regard what men think and your man be tough. And when, let's say, it changed and then men started speaking out, and most men, when they come to the clinic, they have an issue with, I used to have hair, I used to have an afro, I just want short hair, if you can just give me something.
I want some hair.
Yes, just give me something.
You know, in a million years, I would not have thought, number one, that men by their very nature have a sense of vanity, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I never actually thought that hair loss is a big deal.
It is. It is to most of them.
Wow.
And then, you know, I think the thing that discourages most men, and actually most of our clients, is once they come and you give them a quotation, they're like,
yeah, because it's not cheap.
It is not cheap.
It is not cheap.
Much as we would like, because you see, it's a passion for me.
Yes.
And once I go, let's say, for a month without doing a procedure, I feel like, let's just do one for free. because I miss doing this. And it's really a very perfect science that when you once into the theater, it's not even about the patient. It's about the satisfaction you get from doing a very good procedure. And for me, that's it.
So here's the thing, and I know you're a registered nurse. You said so in your introduction.
Yes.
But it's the whole process is in itself very intrinsic.
Yeah.
Because if I had suffered it's called the Kenyatta Market facelift.
The one that you can't smile.
Yeah, but obviously it goes away with your hairline.
Yes.
So there's genetic hair loss, and then there is
self-inflicted.
Is self-inflicted.
Yes.
Let's start with genetic, even before we go to the rest of you. You're like,
yeah.
When it comes to genetic hair loss, which is probably what a lot of men suffer, but also women.
Yes.
Because a lot of them get alopecia from pregnancy.
Yes.
And it's a hormonal thing.
Yes.
But you're saying unless you're predisposed to it genetically, it doesn't happen.
Yes.
So not all women lose hair.
Not all women lose hair. You must have the gene for you to suffer genetic hair loss. Otherwise, it's not genetic.
It's not,
yes. So for you to be losing that hair, it means you have the genetic predisposition to it. And for most ladies, they think, my dad doesn't have it, or rather, my brothers all have hair. Why am I the only one losing it? It must start from somewhere. And you could be the only person who has the gene in your family. And what we usually say, or what I really say is, a stitch in time saves 9.
Yes.
Because if you come in early, I would be able to give you a solution that would work better. But then if you come in when you've lost, let's say 60% of your hair, it takes me a bit of more time to first heal the scalp and then get you your results. So I do not rush to give you a transplant. I first have to take care of the scalp and then proceed to a transplant.
And in case you're wondering, hii nywele na transplant and twanga wapi, where does it come from?
Funny fact is, I did a hair transplant. I know. So what we do is we take hair from the back and then you transplant it to the front.
To wherever it is, it's missing.
The thing is, the hair at the back, and you can notice it from everyone else who has lost hair, is it doesn't have the genetic receptor for genetic hair loss. So even if someone loses
it's balding here on the sides, they don't lose it at the back.
Yes. And even if
Come on! Now that I did not know.
Yes. So even if they lose it at the side, it doesn't go past a certain point. So that is the hair we use. Because the hair...
Okay, that's a science. No, that is a science.
Yes. And it's really, that's how we are able to give you your hair. Because even if we transplant that hair, you'll never lose a hair we transplant. And that is how it's successful.
Wow.
Yes.
Gentlemen, are you listening? I will get to my friends from Kenyatta Market in a moment, don't worry. And okay, so when you were studying this, because remember you're a registered nurse.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you're a registered nurse, so I already know that number one, hygienically, competency, we're in good hands.
Sterilization.
We're in good hands.
Yes.
But what were your moments, like the one I'm having right now?
I would say thanks to my first employer, because really, if it wasn't for the first interaction I had with hair, I wouldn't be where I am. So I first worked at a clinic that did hair transplants and then learned from that individual on how to do hair procedures. And
I need to do this for you.
Yes.
There's only 2 trichologists I know.
Yes.
The first is him. What's his name?
Muli Musyoka.
Muli.
Yes.
And then there's you.
Yes.
And you did work with Muli.
Yes, I did. So now, working at his clinic, I did interact with patients, and it was my joy getting to know on how to do hair transplants and why, the science of the why for me is quite important.
It's the hair at the back of your head doesn't go away. I'm just so blown away by that.
It was really interesting for me at the point. And I think after working with them for, let's say, 2 years, I thought to myself, why do you keep doing something? And it's quite exciting to me. Then why don't you get the papers for it so that even when you can do this on your own, you'll be able
certified.
To do it. Yes. So then that is the why.
Okay.
Yes.
Muli, you've created a great person. I hope you're proud of her and you support her. Because I know sometimes with a new industry starting, people catch feelings mtu mwingine akianza. We do not own anything in this world. No, we don't. So, but when your clients meet you, your pint size, do they believe that you can do what you say you do?
I think sometimes I feel like I should get a bit chubbier. Sorry to say.
You've got nowhere to put it.
Yeah, like I think once someone sees me, they're like, then talk some sense.
Okay.
So then when you sit across a table, I have to sell myself and sell what I'm doing to you. Because for me, it's all about understanding what I'm doing, not even how I look, because much as I look mature, if I don't give you service that is good to what you
know, I could be 55 and rubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So then once I sit with you, I walk with you through this, let's say, because there are many causes of hair loss. Once I sit with you, I talk you through the why and the reason why I choose to do this, the procedures or the therapies I offer you. Then, for most of my clients, they are comfortable.
I'm going to take a break, but just before I do, because the next break will be after the Kenyatta Market facelift, is you said something also very interesting in this space of cosmetic medicine, because that's what it is. Is that today, if you know as a man, you're genetically predisposed to baldness, even if you're 28 or 30, you're now growing stem cells.
Yes, the UK, it's quite very new. It's, I think, last month new that they're taking they're taking your follicles and then growing the stem cells so that out of, let's say, 3 follicles you could be able to get 3,000 follicles.
Okay.
And then with that time you're able to now, let's say, lose hair comfortably, much as most of them are not comfortable
with it.
Yes. So once you're ready to do the procedure, you just go in and then you're charged for the follicles that you'll use.
I just love the fact that you also keep updated on your science.
It's quite, I think it's a really interesting part of, let's say, our livelihood. And as a trichologist, the first thing I look at is hair. So when I go to the salon and I see someone has pulled their hairline, I tell the salonist, this is not what you're really supposed to be doing. So
I think everybody knows that I say this all the time. Even when I have my cornrows, shika baby hairs, zangu tujuane, no tukosane, apana touch. And you know, a lot of people who know me, I mean, and Wahoo is the one who makes me laugh. Every time she used to see me in her salon, she'd be like, you got so much hair. I'm like, yes, but it's walalo hair. It moves around and I cannot be bothered with it. But when we come back now, I want to talk about the female side. Just because I totally understand why. Isn't it strange, you and I agreed, when something is a problem for men, a solution will be found.
And very fast.
Yes. I've always said if men menstruated, ngoja.
Wow.
Ngoja.
I know.
What? Period pains will be unknown. I don't think they
would be a holiday. Like paternity leave.
I like her a lot. Subscribe and come back. We are talking to the amazing, she calls herself Cash, and she is a trichologist. What does she do? Ensure you that you have hair. Yes, that's what she does.
Yes.
Awesome.